Okay, looks like we're started. You have to give it a couple of seconds for everything to fire up. I like it. There we go. Just got to be patient. How's everybody? Hopefully, you're going to see this in the morning. I had to get up really early this morning and wake up my wife and make sure she was on her way. So I thought, you know what? I'll get ahead of the day and get this started. And, we'll promote some music. We will maybe see some people this morning. I doubt it. But currently it is 2:52 and we are here together. We got the podcast master, which is funny. It's an old Christmas gift. And we also have water because you need the water in the morning. You get the dry throat. I remember this so well. With haps, I remember you would have like that morning mouth. You know what I mean? Not pleasant. So why don't we start here? We always talk about music. Here we go. We got BB King, but this is BB King. 4 classic albums on 2 CDs. Sound quality is very good. What's funny is the record company, I believe, was called King Records, which just happened to be a random thing. They also had Memphis Slim, Big Bill Brucey, and had another compilation which looks really good, Howlin' Wolf and Muddy Waters. And it's basically 4 LPs on 2 CDs, which I love. Got that on Amazon. And I'll try to put the links in here. The other great thing if you do these types of streams, number one, you get 4 platforms right off the bat. But you also have access to cutting this up. Because, if you do a show, and sometimes they're 2 hours, you might have 2 gems in there that are like 2 minutes, a minute and a half, that are really something. But the rest of it's me. It's okay. It's okay. And that's what you strive for, is to find those little wrinkles. So why don't we together have a look at, and we do this every day now. Here we go. We're just going to look at the wonderful Tweet Deck. They don't call it Tweet Deck anymore. They call it something else, even though, there's another name for it. But if you look it up, it actually says TweetDeck, Twitter.com, but there is a new name. I think it's called Twitter Pro. It's something like that. So if you look here, this is awesome, this one here. Look at the view. Isn't that beautiful? And the great thing with Restream, and part of the reason I have that up there, is I like promoting them. They have a good product. I remember seeing the beta of it, and it was brutal. But this is really something. And if you have the basic plan, it is well worth your time. And the quality's good, and it's all web-based. And, as long as you've got things somewhat set up, it can be pretty smooth. And as long as you're comfortable in front of a camera, you should do okay. It's not that big a learning curve. Lighting's important, especially if you're doing it early in the morning. The great thing is if I do it when the sun comes up, the natural light is beautiful. We've got mega light in here right now. This is crazy. We got the shadows in the background, which makes me laugh. All right, so let's see what other stories we've got building here. I'm going to try to do maybe a couple of these, 10 minutes each, unless I get in a groove here and things start moving. The other great thing is, too, is you can have the chat up on the side here. You're not going to get many people at 3 in the morning. willing to talk to you. You might have some people listening, though. You never know. But you always are striving for the replay, right? And I think that's always the way to go. Let's see what happens here. This is what I want right here. That's the most effective. And I've seen a lot of people use this. All right. So what do we do next? Let's hit this one. I like this one. You can probably read it from where you are there. As long as you believe that things are going to get better, there is always hope. And hope is what heals. Hope is what keeps you going, right? You have to have a little faith as well that things will unfold just as they should be. You know, this one reminds me of my grandmother. This is funny. Holding a grudge is like letting someone live rent free in your mind. I have to agree with that wholeheartedly. You know, we have so little time here, and to be imprisoned in what maybe someone might say or do or think of you is kind of sad. And many of us do that. And if you're in a very unhealthy relationship and you're sad all the time, I highly recommend that you don't be in that relationship. You know, you can always rebuild your life. And the great thing is, too, as long as you're loving to yourself, that is what's most important. And I don't mean like narcissistic kind of love. I mean just being kind daily to yourself, you know, with your thoughts and your feelings, and really fully expressing what you feel and then letting it go and just moving on. And it's okay to be angry, but don't be angry forever. And I find a lot of people carry very emotional baggage with them wherever they go. And that can be so taxing. All right. Here's another one here. I'll click this. Build someone up. Put their insecurities to sleep. Remind them that they are worthy. Tell them they are magical. Be a light in too often dim world. Yeah, be a light in a too often dim world. That's very pretty. I like that. That's one you could read every day and it would benefit you. Literally benefit you every day. And, you know, many of us, our self-talk, our mental chatter is brutal. And the things we say to ourselves, we would never say to another human being. It's just too cruel, right? Okay, let's do this one here. Trust the timing. Things happen for a reason. And I believe that. And I also believe that certain individuals are in our lives for a reason, a season, maybe a month, a year, a decade. But you also have to know what relationships are toxic and no longer benefiting you. And sometimes you're supposed to meet people to get the painful lessons and then move on. And it's okay to move on. It's also okay to work on relationships that are worth working on. Many people give up too easily as well. I think individuals nowadays, if it's inconvenient, it becomes a burden. They're like, it's okay. It's like buying a new car. And it's very cruel if there's children involved, right? So thank you for being with us. This is going to be just a 10-minute segment. I might do another one after it so I can fit it into TikTok. And that's a great thing. If you know the limitations of each platform, that's the way to go. I'm grateful that you're here. I will be back in a few minutes. God bless you all. If you can, take the time to leave a comment, put a hashtag saying Restream, and be kind to yourself.